So beginning the process here of tearing down this McCulloch MC49 Kart engine. If you didn't watch the last video on the story behind this, you should probably go check that out. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get started. So unlike your typical video you see from me where we get something like this, we want to just fire it up and run it. This one is an exception because this one is not mine, as I have said in the last video. What will be happening with this one is I will be tearing it down immediately to put new gaskets into it, wherever I put them. Yeah, there we go. So I've got a new old stock gasket kit, which, look at that writing on that. That is just... says retro, so E on it, just because there's some carb gaskets and everything for the in there, but it's the same thing for that. So we've got that gasket set for there, and what was included also, which I appear to have lost sitting right in front of me in the last 10 seconds, is a carb rebuild kit. Literally just had it right here. Oh, I put it back. Look at that. A carb rebuild kit also for the flat back that's on it. Supposedly that's it. I don't know. I have not opened it, but it also has a old type of printing on it. So we will also be using that one if it is the correct one. And hopefully we can get that carb to be good. Like I say, needle and seat on them, I'm unsure of. Everything. This has a pretty good history behind it, and take utmost care of it as I can. Also, we've got a PTO side crank seal, and we also have onto the side over here, which I'll just get it out right now, the PTO side crank seal, because you know cameras don't focus properly. So, and that is a Chicago Rawhide 6763. So we'll put those up, keep them safe. Do that. I think the rings will be fine inside of it and everything. It has compression. Isn't stuck, obviously, saying that. Everything looks good. And whatnot. Very rare muffler. Very hard to get. Very sought after. So everything will be staying with this one. It is a dirty, dirty wreck. But tearing it down should be super simple, as I don't have a giant gas tank, oil tank, or anything in my way. And we're just going to take her all the way down, take it apart. It'll probably be a big old hyperlapse video on that with some music in the background, just tearing it down. And if I find anything, I'll stop it and let you guys see. But other than that, it's just going to be a straight through. Let's get her tore down. Let's get her started here and everything. I know the family's pretty anxious to hear this run. Hasn't run since what was said to be the 80s. So, all right, without further ado, let's get the hyperlapse started. All right, before we start the hyperlapse, actually, I want to take a look at this piston cylinder, and you guys be there with it. So, there's a couple hardware here, screws, like 3 of them. So that's a couple. Get this taken off of here. We'll take a look inside there, make sure everybody's happy. Also get a good look at this. Look at that. Yeah, somebody modified something to work. It's got a couple holes drilled. Made for this, it's just, I think somebody made it fit this one, so. Plenty of oil was running, that's for sure. So these ones, like I say, were pretty asthmatic when it came to the ability to have a lot of power. So you'll note here that the cylinder, get this gasket off carefully, that the exhaust port here is missing, not missing, they just didn't drill it out, the hole right here to have better flow. So it's pretty asthmatic when it comes to being able to have power. And there's ports on the inside that are the exact same way. So these were a little low on power, and if a guy wanted to, what they would do, instead of drilling out this center one here to have 3, they would take and bring these bridges over, so you have 2 large ones instead of 3, is what they would do for these ones. I mean, I guess you could drill this out and everything and have a 3rd exhaust port, but you'd have less area versus just taking it to the center, and guys would eyebrow them and do some weird trickeries and stuff. But the intake ports are the same way, and we'll probably show you that also when we get it tore down. But just wanted to check that real quick. I did not put any oil down it, and it is, and you can see her in there, it's kind of like goopy oil, everything. So that's why I didn't want to run it, because of how goopy feeling it is. It's just ewy gooey. But it does turn over with good compression. So we've got a lot of ultrasonic cleaning, a lot of cleaning to do of parts here. But I figured I'd show that real quick, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the hyperlapse of just doing a full teardown. If I find anything else, then I will let you all know and show you at the time of. So, all right, let's get to going here. All right, stop the hyperlapse here. Look at that. I've never seen pristine paint like this before. Like, look how shiny that is. That bottom stuffer has never been off and even has an inspection stamp still on it. That's awesome. I had to stop the video. But also, we'll get inside this together. See what it looks like. So, maybe. I wish they had made a pry point on these to tap these off, but they didn't. They made it difficult. Man, it's just crap. And this is all dirt from racing here, mind you. All of this. It's none of it is solid, obviously. I know I took the intake off. You're like, oh, there's dirt. Also, I want to show real quick how I was explaining about the ports. You see up here, asthmatic. There's nothing there. And then you have this bridging, which this bridging here was used for strength, but it also hindered a lot of performance and flow. Guys would cut these out and everything, flow it and drill these and stuff. They really could increase the power on these, but the reason why this one more or less survived is because it wasn't ran to the max. It was allowed to, you know, race like it was intended. It wasn't trying to, like, some guy like, yeah, this is going to be 100, you know, a 20 horsepower engine. Yeah, old gasket here. We got gaskets to replace this though. So, ripping apart the gaskets, but we'll get you down here. Let's go ahead and tear this open together. First time it's been opened, it looks like this engine has been nothing but reliable for the previous owners until it got put up. But, and I hate cleaning gaskets up. Ugh. So crack this open for the first time since being assembled in the 60s from the feels and everything I'm seeing. Ready? Beautiful in there. That's all casting flash there. That's perfectly normal, the wrinkles. It's got a really nice stuffer plate on it though. Good stuffer. It is immaculate in there. Let's get the light on the camera on. Let's look at this. Look at that. It has never been ported, messed with, nothing. Just a touch of rust right there. And I left the spark plug in. I did lube it up to take it out easier, but just a touch of rust and that would have not hurt anything. It is immaculate and beautiful in there. So yeah, this thing could have actually probably ran as it was and everything. So, all right, I'm gonna continue the hyperlapse here, finish getting this old girl apart, and there's gonna be a lot of cleaning. That is gonna be the longest part of this is clean. I'm gonna save you all that trip too. So, all right, let's get this thing finished apart, sorted and sitting out in her pieces, and then I'll have a cleaner off camera and go from there. More video. All right, pull the piston out. Now these you have to push the piston beyond where its stroke is, and then you have to rotate the crank a certain way to clear the rod. But all right, make a note. The number 2, which I'm doing this as a self note. I don't think it's anything else to do it, but the 2 is on that side. No, hold on. Yeah, duh. You don't even have to do that. The closed side of the bearing goes to your exhaust, and your open side goes to be able to oil. But the thick ring piston, so it's never been modified, and it's got a hella carbon buildup. Oh my goodness. This thing was definitely had to been a smoker going around the track. Woo-wee. Look at that. But the rings are free. They're just goopy, but they're free. Like, yeah, it's just all gooped. And we can put that in the ultrasonic, just bzzz it real quick, and that'll help free stuff up. But that's excellent news, so. It's good. We've got her tore down, everybody. And it is a mess. I got to get everything labeled here. Labeled, put in bags and stuff. The needle bearings and everything, that was kind of immediate. Do that because I don't want to lose those. Very well oiled. There was nothing dry about them. So somebody, when they stored this, either this thing just ran a huge amount of oil on it and it just really caked itself good in the needle bearings, or somebody stored it away and oiled it properly. I couldn't tell you which they did, but they did an immaculate job storing this, and it has sat, like I said, since the 80s. This is side cover stuff here. Side cover, ignition, you know, all that goody stuff. And I'm just tossing everything behind me onto the floor. Spark plug shows it was burning pretty rich. Somebody was mixing the oil pretty good, which is probably what saved this. Kept this alive. No needle marks. The cylinder is immaculate. Still has cross hatching in it. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, this is a very asthmatic engine. Even on the inside here, you'll see the ports. So the transfer port, there's only 2 of them out of the 3. Because you do your... So there you go. There's that one. Only 2. Transfer port's only 2, and they only drilled for 2. A guy could go and drill that if he wanted to. Could drill that. Could modify, either just drill that one or open it up wider to get a lot more power. I'm not going to. The D port over here, which is used to help oil the piston. Kind of oil the piston is what they say. How McCulloch said it did not act as an actual intake port up into the combustion chambers. There was a couple models that McCulloch did do that when they were seeing people do that, and after that they just eliminated the D port and went to boost ports. So this is your D port, by the way, this whole D shape. Nothing there whatsoever. So once again, very asthmatic if a guy wanted to modify stuff. But a couple little up at the top there of the cylinder, as you'll see, probably maybe not. Because, you know, autofocus cameras. Okay, there you go. Well, you were able to see it, and then it's like, no. But up at the top, there's a couple little marks or whatever. I don't know what those are from. It just had something inside of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, spit it out, moved on with its life. Very big combustion chamber, as you'll see. Very large one. Overall, excellent shape. I'm going to give this an excellent shape internally. Somebody definitely enjoyed this, put a little couple goodies on it, and just had fun. You know, loved how the power that it had. Maybe it made a little bit more with the Hortzman muffler and stuff like that, but other than that, overall, very stock setup. Reed valves look excellent. Nothing is rusted away or anything, but we will be taking this apart and checking things, making sure. Make sure got all the gaskets, the kits and stuff here. She is tore down. Like I say, I got to get the seals out and stuff. I'm not sure which way the bearing in here. Free, feels awesome. And there's bearing numbers online too. I don't even know. This is a Torrington though. B-1210 Torrington. And they can still be found to this day. Made in the USA, Merca. But get the seal out of here is what I'll do and everything. Probably, like I say, I got to do a bunch of cleaning up and everything. And I'll do all that off camera. Soaking, cleaning, spraying, and all that fun stuff. Gasket removal, because nobody likes to watch that. That stuff is just boring as can be. And I hate it. But she's tore down, and that's the positive. That is a thick, thick gasket right there. More of an insulation than anything. Yeah, it's going to be a fighter. Hopefully we'll have this coming up soon. The Teardown. So. Alright, that's where I'm going to end the video. Keep stuff short, simple, and to the point. Still got to take stuff off the flywheel. Crankshaft is beautiful. Cam lobe is nice, just dirty from stuff for the points to break. Bearing is immaculate. I mean, it's just no weird sounds. Doesn't have any play in it that it shouldn't have. This thing is very nice. Keyways are excellent. No mauling, no anything. Flywheel, I didn't take the puller off yet, but I make it hold its own hardware. Key, washer, nut. Gotta take all that off still. Starter. It still does starty stuff. Oh, I dropped some hardware. I don't know how to revitalize these. Heat, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, just drop the 1, 2. One floating out there. It is. There's the other one. Put the hardwares, get them all together and everything, but she's all there. I will say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Leave me a comment. I love reading. Anything you guys say, let me know. And yes, it was a brass hammer used during the pounding of parts. Carefully used. Everything slid right apart. I'm not using a steel hammer on steel. Bad, no stuff. Oh yeah, and the stuffer. Well, the plate too. Nothing difficult here. I know it was a hyperlapse. We've seen me take them apart before. But putting it back together, I'll skip in and out. We'll go through the carburetor together and everything and whatnot. So, I'm yammering. Thanks for watching.